Good day, good day, good day, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, as Dr. Hemong would always say. Happy moment. So glad you're here. Ariana, Nehemiah, Austin, Albert, Esther Francis. I'm going to call on you, Esther Francis, to talk about art eventually, not at this moment, but I'm just noticing who's here. May Chen, lovely to see you. Oh gosh. Um, oh, okay. I don't know. Something came across the stream. So, my name's Debra-Ann, and welcome to the Global Healing Call for Ancient Secrets of a Master Healer. We are, um, we join every Sunday to review this book. I'm showing you it's in Spanish. We have the Spanish book that's out both in audio and in book form, and we're all here because of this man, Dr. Pankaj Naram, and the Ancient Secrets. And so welcome, welcome, welcome. We are, if you're new to the call, would you please put your name in the chat so we can welcome you? And for all of us old timers, if you want to put in the chat where you're from, that would be delightful, because we are a global family. And I am going to, we're going to take care of business right at the beginning. I'm going to turn it over to Katie, who is my co-host. My other co-host today is Vinay, who is here from India. He's so delightful to have him. Katie, over to you. As soon as the thing unmutes. I'm one.
Oh,
Oh, there
we go.
you are.
I got
There
it.
you go. Okay.
For me, it's good morning, good afternoon,
morning.
evening, all the times. So our first thing is our medical disclaimer to let you all know that we are not giving medical advice. Thank you, Robin. We are sharing our experiences and our stories. This is for educational purposes, and you can take what you like and leave the rest. And announcements. So we've been doing and having an amazing ancient secrets emergency preparedness course that is well worth your time. It is not too late to join. Our next gathering is on Thursday, December 5th at 10 a.m. Pacific time, and we'll put a link in if you're interested in joining. And then on Saturday, December 14th, also at 10 a.m. Pacific time, there'll be a bonus call that maybe Carol can tell us what that's going to be about if we know ahead of time, because I don't. Wednesday, December 11th at 10 a.m. Pacific time is our next art time class with Esther Francis with doing word art, which will be fabulous. These are really fun, generally small gatherings where we just get together and share creativity and get to hang out together and just have a good time. It's really fun. I highly recommend it. There's a minimum cost of $5 that goes to our children in Nepal. And yeah, highly, highly recommend it. Then there are a couple other things that I want to mention that on Friday, December 27th at 5 p.m. Pacific time is the Asia Pacific call. It's 9 a.m. Tokyo time. And Carol, I think you do that one. And also on Tuesday, December 31st at 8 a.m. Pacific time, there's a community call in Portuguese, which is just amazing to me that we have these wonderful offerings.
Thank you, Katie. Thank you, thank you. Esther, would you like to tell a little bit about the art?
Yes. Hi, good moment, everyone. First of all, I want you to know that even though it says word art, it's not exclusively about words. So please bring your colors in terms of watercolor or acrylics or pencils or pens, whatever you would like that way, because my cat just didn't like being moved. um, we're it's going to be a combination. We're going to focus though on haiku, which is a very, very brief 575 syllable form of poetry. And I love that. And for that portion, if you have photos of out something from nature, or it could be something just inside a bouquet, a photo that you have in a frame, whatever it might be, that we're going to play with that form a little bit and combining what the visual of what we see and then writing it, and then that can be illustrated. I realize this probably could be one all in and of itself, but I thought it would also be fun to take I have a song called Gaia that's on my CD, Mother Earth Calls, and in it there you have different really simple verses. Now I've done this with 8-year-olds in class, and Gaia is blank, 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 the original, a living cathedral. Gaia is spirit incarnate. Gaia is redwoods and wonder. Gaia is a golden gate. And you're going to get the opportunity to go, Gaia is blank, 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 what it is to you, a pretty red tulip, and this is simple. You'll make up your own verses, and then we'll have our own art time version of Gaia. So they're going to be two of the highlights. I'll also show just a couple of the things I've created that is a mix of my art and words. So that's it. You don't have to have any background in art. It's about playing and bringing out, the inner child that's naturally an artist. Okay? I think I covered everything. It was already said the donation is 5, and all goes to our precious kids in Nepal, the orphans. So anything else I've missed, please fill it in. And please, if somebody can post how they can sign up, that would be wonderful. I look forward to playing with you.
Thank you, Esther. Thank you. Thank you for even offering this to the community. That's awesome. Very awesome. So today we get together and talk about things from Ancient Secrets of a Master Healer, the book, because there's so many things that we have learned, that I have learned on how we live better lives. And today's quote that we're going to be chatting about, so you can think about this while we drop from our head to our heart, is the quote from, it's the chapter 15 on page 223. This is not a quick fix program. Ancient healing works over time to heal people deeper and deeper. My master taught me one very important thing. It takes time to heal yourself and others. That quote's from Dr. Naram. It takes time. We live in such a instantaneous, we got it world where there's, you don't have to strike a match to start your stove, and there's just so many things that are instant. Our phones, immediately we can contact someone across the world. It's that to me is so fascinating. Everything is instant, and the thing about our bodies and our health is the body takes time to heal, but it does heal. So I want you to think about that as we drop from our heads to our hearts. We have a special guest today who happens to be my daughter, Denise Wagner, who's going to play a violin piece. So what I would like you to do is just get very comfortable in your seats. And I want you to just imagine, how long does it take you to get over a cold, and how that feeling you have the day that you're back 100% and you've got all of the strength and your mind back. And maybe you broke a bone or something and the day you got the cast off, but you knew it, you had to wear it for a certain number of weeks. And just the gratitude you have for the wonder of your body and how it heals. And I'm turning this over to Denise. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Denise Wagner. As my mom has said, I am her daughter. I will be playing a piece by Handel, which this piece has become one of my favorites just because it's very calming to play and also to hear. And it always brings me happiness, and I hope it does the same too.
Thank you. Thank you. Before I let you go, um, you had Ancient Secrets has changed your life in a marvelous way, but it didn't happen overnight. Would you mind talking about that a moment? The day you discovered that it was healed.
Sure. Um, so I dealt with eczema, which is just a skin condition, autoimmune system kind of disease, and it it took over my life for like the past 3 years. I mean, I've had it for my entire life, but it's been off and on. But it got really bad 3 years ago to the point where I did not wear long sleeves in the winter. I didn't go out of the house because I broke out in hives for some reason. And it was just so bad. And I didn't understand why. And that's when my mom found Ancient Secrets. And so we started doing the diet and doing the detox as well. And little by little, it took a while. It started getting better, both working on the mental side, but also the physical, internal side. And it's now been 3 years, I would say. And my skin, I can now wear long sleeves, which is woo, great. Um, but also, it I now can do all the things that just kind of seem normal in daily life. And it took 3 to almost 4 years to do. And I would say it started to show effect just like a month ago, where it finally healed and everything kind of just happened rapidly. But over the 3 years, it was so slow. But it was worth it after like doing those detox and stuff. Not saying they're bad, but they were, they take a lot. But it was great to finally be able to do all the normal activities that I wasn't able to do at first. So
I think the thing I love the most is she can hug me now, and she couldn't hug me before because her arms were so bad. So we cuddle a lot now. Thank you, Denise. Yeah. So there are so many things that take a while, but they're worth it. And healing isn't a quick fix. I want to applaud the people who just finished the 30-day detox, delicious detox that we started at the beginning of November. And for any of you who are here today, brava, bravo, brava. It is a commitment, and yeah, very good. So I would like to. I asked Vinay if he would share a story from Dr. Naram about the length of time healing takes sometimes. Many times it's a quick fix because it's something that was happened just recently and it wasn't a long-term chronic thing. But I would love it if Vinay would share, and then we could open the floor to your stories. Any of you who have used Ancient Secrets or have found healing in other ways, because Ancient Secrets is amazing, but we all heal in different ways. I'm turning it over to you, Vinay, and then to Katie.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
My name is Vinay Soni. I used to work as a personal assistant to Dr. Pankaj for the more than 25 years. And before I start sharing about these things, I would like to congratulate to Dennis. The way she was playing it, it was amazing. And I can see very clearly in the eyes of the Debra, she is a proud mother for you. So the way you were playing, so she literally had a tears in her eyes, and I saw that thing that she was cleaning her eyes. And also, it's a great thing that it proved to the court that it's not a quick fix, because it took 3 years for you, and Debra waited for you to hug you for the 3 years. So yeah, I would like to share about these things. Okay, when I joined Dr. Naram, so there are a few things. Whenever the patient used to come, I always used to have the questions that why people are not getting healed so quick, why taking so long. So one day, I was sitting with a Dr. Naram and I asked Dr. Naram why it is so. So he shared about this quote and how his master taught him that it takes time to heal yourself and others, it takes time. So in the brief, he told me about these things and he gave me the example about my mother. that your mother used to take a high blood pressure medicine and she used to feel good, but it was temporary basis. As soon as the power of the allopathy, Western medicine comes down, she used to have that headache again and that high blood pressure situation. She used to take because she was bedridden for the 6 months. She had a problem of the lady's problem and she was continuously having the bleeding. So he gave me these two examples. Okay, your mother used to take the Western medicines, but still she was on bed, and it was making her bad and bad, more and more bad, and she used to have these things. Okay, why it takes long? Because we have to clear from the root cause. We don't want to just uh, treat the symptoms, but we have to treat the root cause of that problem, why it is so. So then he told me that with the 6 instruments of the Siddha Veda, we used to take care of the any health concerns like herbal remedies, then also diet, lifestyle. And I would like to congratulate everyone who has followed the 30-day detox, because now you will come to know exactly what is the importance of the following the diet. Second thing, the home remedy. There are the few things which you can do it at home, not need to go outside, unless until if you don't have that ingredients. So whenever we used to do the video consultation and we completed Europe clinic of Dr. Juani, after that, I spoke to the few people and they got a very good results. Recently, in my cousin's group, there was one girl. She quite young and suddenly her period stopped. So Dr. Am used to give the one home remedy, that 1 teaspoon of the ajwain, that is we called a carom seeds, 1 teaspoon of the dill seed, and 1 teaspoon of the jaggery. So this home remedy works for her. Before, for the last 2 to 3 years, she was not having the period. And recently, yesterday, she met me in the one of the prayer meet, and she told me, "Ke Vinay Brai," she used to call me brother. So she said, "Okay, finally I got the period." So this is something importance of the home remedy. So, and then we have the herbal supplements, lifestyle, Marma points, which always Debra, Carol, they used to show us the Marma points and what a detox we do. So with this 6 instrument, we can take care of our health concerns. But again, as quote said, it's not a quick fix. Dr. Am always used to say, whoever comes, there was one millionaire came with his many commandos and the gun and everything. One day, one producer came in, he said, Dr. Am, help me for my heroine because I want to take her for the next picture and she is having a lot of pimples and the dots on her face. Dr. Am says, you are my friend, but I am not here to do the quick fix. If she really want to be good and beautiful, like Ambrapali, I can do it, but it takes time. So this is the importance that in today's world, we are living in the fast world. It says that city never sleeps. But in that thing moment, we have to take care of our health in a such a way. Not only if you're having the headache, no need to take any paracetamol or whatever we call in the Western world. In place of that thing, if we do the proper diagnosis, what exactly, whether it is because of the high vata, whether it's because of the high pitta or kapha, what it may be, and if we focus to cure that root cause of it, then it helps a lot. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vinay. Thank you, Vinay. For those who may be unfamiliar with Vata Pitta Kapha, those words, they're simply in the Ayurvedic and Siddha Veda tradition, they're simply the energies that make up our bodies. And they each have a different function. And when they get out of balance, we get sick or we get diseases. Katie, could you, I know many of you have heard her story, but I mean, it's delightful. Katie, I turn it over to you.
I'll try to be brief, but it's but it's a long story because it's been my whole life. So I met Dr. Clint in February of 2021, so almost 4 years ago. And when I met him, it was a big deal for me to walk from our car up the driveway to the room where he was doing pulse readings. And I had been diagnosed with what used to be called chronic fatigue syndrome, myalgic encephalomyelitis, but that started in 1997 and got progressively worse, particularly after we were rear-ended in 2019 when I had a brain injury that I've had several concussions before in my life. And after the car accident, my whole system just kind of shut down. And there was a period of time, there were a couple of years when most of my day was spent horizontal. So there were days that I couldn't walk from the kitchen to my bedroom. And I was just lying down most of the time. I remember a friend saying she would come to visit and she could stay for 5 minutes because that was all that I could handle. So some background, Dr. Vinay was saying how things take time and you have to get to the root cause. From the time that my mother was carrying me, I had trauma in my life. And so, everything builds up. There was a lot of toxicity in my upbringing and young adulthood. And by the time I had pneumonia for the third time in my life, when in 1997, I just never got better. And so it's only been, it's almost 4 years. And I am not only out of my wheelchair, I was able to give my wheelchair away, which was an amazing moment. But I am able to go hiking. We just had 4 full days with family, with a 13-year-old and an 8-year-old, and we were out doing stuff and cooking and playing. And I have my life back. And I remember meeting Dr. Clint, and I was so skeptical because when you have something like chronic fatigue syndrome, people are like, have you tried this? Have you tried that? Have you tried this? It's like, yes, I've tried all the things. And in Western medicine, that is considered a lifetime sentence. There's not a cure, according to Western medicine. So when I met Dr. Clint, I was very skeptical. As soon as we made eye contact, my whole being just said, oh, okay. He asked me what I wanted. He read my pulses. He said, he looked at my eyes and he said, it's possible. It's possible. It will take time, but it's possible. Yeah, Esther. That was what it took. And he had me do the 30-day detox with the herbs. I changed my diet. I'd had a very, I thought, healthy, organic, local diet, but I was eating poorly for my body. And so there are times still when I get tired, I need to be careful. I pay attention, but I follow the 6 keys. And I'm here to tell you that it works. When I first met him, I would not come on these calls because I couldn't handle it. I couldn't handle the video. I couldn't do the energy. And now here I am talking to you, and I'm so thankful. I'm beyond words thankful. Yeah.
Thank you, Katie. Thank you, Katie.
Yeah.
So my whole desire is that you all would find that hope that Katie got the moment she looked at Dr. Clint, and then he read and he said, it's possible. With Ancient Secrets, it's possible. And the floor is open for anyone who wants to share their story or wants to ask a question. this is what the community is about. There's so many beautiful people here right now. There's Lynn and I saw Siobhan's here from Dublin, Belle. Oh, there's so many of you, and oh gosh, speak up, raise your hand, share with the world what you want. If that's all, if you haven't gotten it yet, what is it you want? What is it that's possible because of the ancient secrets? Hi, Lynn, your smile is so beautiful.
Beautiful, everyone. I just kind of maybe a reminder to support everything that Vinay and Dr. Naram and the stories of time is, we've identified, particularly in the Western world, the desire for the quick fix. And, Western medicine is more designed to treat disease than it is wellness over time. But one of the things I think many of us tend to forget is most of these conditions, if you want to call them, they didn't occur instantly. They didn't occur overnight. Some do, right? I mean, you touch poison ivy and you get it right now. But, high blood pressure, arthritis, these things that many people develop, they develop over a long time. And it's unlikely that they're going to just go away quickly. So, when Dr. Vinay was saying it's about treating the origin, not the symptom, those origins developed over a long period of time, and it's reasonable that we should try to have patience to have the treatment and the remedies and the cures take a little bit of time to be effective. And, I think many of us have experienced some of the more instantaneous benefits during a 30-day cleanse or the fast or the pachakarma, when you have that kind of flushing, if you will, that you do get some immediate benefits. And the long-term benefits come with long-term participation. And as we say, this health and wellness is an audience participation sport. It's not something that's just given to you. So thank you.
Thank you, Joseph. That was very good. Very good. I was thinking, as you were talking, I was thinking about dishes. I think about our bodies, and the reason we do the 30-day delicious detox is because we're cleaning it. And I know growing up, I never heard of anybody talking about doing a cleanse or anything in circles that I was running in. And when I do my dishes, I am really aware that if I cook something in a pot or I use the blender, if I rinse it out right away, it cleans really easy. But if I let it sit on the counter, I got to scrub it a little bit, and it takes a little bit more time. And I think about our bodies the same way. It takes a little more time to scrub out those toxins to get them out. My story. Oh, good. Carol Ray.
I should have waited just another minute. I was just going to say, I still agree with everything that's being said, how things take time, and especially if you're taking herbal supplements, it may take months to stick with it, and that self-discipline is part of the healing. But also, I've been privileged to see instantaneous relief from Marma Shakti that's incredible. A frozen shoulder of many, many years, and all of a sudden, Dr. Clint works his magic and the arm can go all the way up. Or someone who's been limping for years. I think we saw this at Sedona. And Dr. Clint worked on his back and did some adjustments. He was dancing, took away his cane, and he was dancing because his leg was released. So while we do have long awaited healing processes, there's also something to be said for Mama Shakti and that instantaneous relief that comes from this magical, mystical science, technology, brain power. It's really an amazing process, and there is, maybe we can put a link for the clinics that are coming up that you might want to sign up for your area. I know there's on schedule for New York, California, Texas, and others coming up the first quarter. So that's too one of the amazing things. And I also want to welcome some of you that I see here visiting from Ancient Secrets Emergency Preparedness class. Thank you so much for coming today. I appreciate that. And Thursday, we're going to jump right into how to reduce risk of fire in your home. And we have Larry going to do that, who's here today. So thank you, Larry, for coming, and welcome for those of you who are coming in from the emergency course.
Thank you, Carol. Thank you, Carol. I wanted to acknowledge both Carol and Robin Lee, who are doing the technology for the call today. Can't do anything without those techs. Carol Ray is a lot more than just a tech, and so is Robin. Robin is, Robin is one of my fellow students on the PATH program, which is a program offered through Ancient Secrets for learning the ancient secrets. Renee, please.
Well, I want to second what Carol Ray said is that, so often there are things that can be turned around really quickly, and you can see a really immediate result or a very soon result with the marmas. But also I want to just give a plug for rest, because I was up at Bell's house in the mountains, and nature was really teaching me a lot there. And a bird flew into a window when I was sitting right in front of it at one point, and I went out, and the little guy was he was obviously in shock and stunned, and he would like try to stand up, and then he would just fall back on his head, and he did that about 3 times, and it was like I knew I had to help him, but I've never done anything like that before, actually. And so I just picked him up and I put him in my heart, and I just said, it's not your time to go. You just have to, I'm going to hold you for a while. And I started healing him with my heart and just sending him love. And then I realized he needed time out. So I actually put him in a shoebox where he would be totally in darkness for a little while. And then I played some Hertz music from YouTube for healing and for shock. And then I got that he would need about an hour and a half in the shoebox. So I left him in there for about 2 hours. And then I opened the shoebox and he was standing up again. And I go, okay, I'm going to take him outside. Oh, I projected rescue remedy to him, right? Oh. And then I took him outside and I just opened the box and I go, if he's ready to go, he can go. And if not, he can stay, And he flew out immediately, but he flew out to a post on the deck, and he just stayed there for a really long time, and he looked around and then the other way and around and the other way, and then after quite a long time, like I don't know, a long time for me, but a few minutes, he took off, right? And then the same day or the next day, there was a little lizard, and it was on the screen inside. And I said, you have to go out because it's not healthy for you to be in here. He didn't listen. So after a while, I took a container and put it over him and, got him outside. And you know how they get really excited when they don't know, oh my God, I'm going to die. He was really excited inside the container, but then I put him on the porch and just on the deck, and he just did the same thing. He just stopped, he looked around, and he didn't move for a long time, and then he went off again. And so those were my 2 nature experiences. And then I also had a surgery. Many of us on the call have had surgeries recently. And, it was like the first week, it's like I had to just stop and sleep a lot and take time to recalibrate. So what I'm seeing is that a really important thing is that, we can have these experiences, but we really have to give ourselves time to integrate and come back in together again. And, you know, we often try to skip that part because we just want to get on with our life, you know. But if we do it that way, it's like the body doesn't have that chance to really recalibrate with the time it needs. And it takes much longer in the long run for us to heal. So I just want to share that aspect of healing.
Thank you, Aunt Renee. So right on. Thank you. That was I love the pictures that you painted with your words of the bird and the lizard, and yeah, rest,
Yeah.
healing. So if no one else is going to go, I'll tell you my story. My whole life has been about healing, but the most recent thing that brought me to Ancient Secrets, or I eventually made it to Ancient Secrets, was I developed osteoarthritis in my right knee. And I am one who wants to let my body do what it needs to do. Rest. Rest is important. I thought, okay, if the knee's hurting, I'm going to let it rest. So I used crutches so that I could let my knee rest, right? So I got around on crutches, and everybody was telling me, oh, you can just get surgery and get that fixed. They'll just replace your knee. And, you know, and I'm thinking, no, if it's hurting, it needs to rest. So about that time, I was introduced to Ancient Secrets, and I thought, okay, I'm going to do the mung bean soup. So I did the mung bean soup. Every time I've done this diet with mung bean soup, I've done it wrong. And my testimony is you can do it wrong and it's still beneficial. So my knee started to feel better. And then I discovered that I could meet with the Vidia, and I got some herbs. Anyway, my want, even though it took me a long time to figure out what it was to be able to dance and walk and just be a normal person again without crutches and without pain. And that's what I got. That's what I got. Did it take a long time? It took about a year. But you don't, who was it? Someone just said, you don't know what you don't know what you have until you don't know you're missing anything until it's gone. And then when it's gone, you realize, oh my gosh, how did I take my knees for granted? I don't know. So I could keep talking, but I really don't want to just hear myself. We've got this beautiful group of people. If y'all want, okay, Robin Lee.
Yes. I had to wait until you told your story, Debra-Ann.
Oh, thank you.
So I, for a long time, I've known that healing needs both nutritional things and emotional, energetic healing, because when my mom became chemically sensitive, suddenly she couldn't eat anything out of the family grocery store because nothing was organic. And it was a very steep learning curve. And so I've always felt like I want to be as proactive as I can to heal things so that I never have to have my immune system go out and have that. You know, I'd rather be able to make slow and small changes rather than having to change everything all at once. And so I've been actively working on clearing whatever emotional baggage I have, so that I can clear that out and it doesn't have to pile up. And so I wound up having, for about 10 years, I had known that I had some issues with India, like from past lifetimes, because I had never been there in this lifetime before October. And so so I finally felt like I had cleared enough stuff that I was ready to go to India for our last in the 3-year week-long trainings. And to be able to go, and I could tell that I was definitely lighter, but I had such a fabulous experience while I was in India that I felt like I'd let go of the last of the stuff. And all of a sudden I'm seeing possibilities in India where I was just seeing, poverty and trash and stuff before. And so I'm sharing this because I know that especially when you have a lot of trauma, you take time and you go through it in stages. I've known of people who went crazy, literally, like went psychotic because they asked for all of their fears to be revealed so they could handle them like all at once. And it was too much and their system crashed. And so, it makes sense to take things slow and be able to do them at a rate your body can take. I remember Tony Lister also said, he used to really hit it hard trying to clear out all this emotional stuff. And he's like, now I'm like, okay, it's a little bit easier when you just do, max 15 or 20 minutes at a time, maybe, instead of doing too much. So on the emotional healing side, it's very important, and you want to take it at a good, even pace.
Beautiful. That's wonderful. Thank you, Robin. So true. Jane, good to see you.
There we go. Good morning.
Good morning.
I just wanted to share that I've been with the community since August of 2021, and I've worked on many aspects of my health, emotional, physical, and so on, and spiritual. And one of the problems that I have is an autoimmune problem. I have Meniere's syndrome as well as positional vertigo. I have two double whammy on that. And I've had that since 1990 for the most part. And it can get totally debilitating when I have it. The last two times that I've had it, which was almost a year ago, I couldn't get up to deal with it. But my Vija had given me some home remedy to use, and my son made it for me. And instead of laying in bed 4, 5, 6 days, just absolutely wanting to die, I took this. I drank this home remedy, and the first time it took 4 hours to work. And I was able to get up. I mean, I still was slightly dizzy, but I was able to get up and do things that I wanted to do. The second time that I tried the remedy, it took 20 minutes. And that has never, ever, ever, ever happened. And so, and it was individual to me from my Vija. She's, recommended that I don't share it with other people only because, this was from my system. But I'm here to say that I'm amazed with it. I don't want to have to use it again because I don't want to ever get dizzy like that. But if I do, I know what I'll immediately go to. So I just wanted to share that. I'm just so incredibly grateful for this community.
Oh, Jane, that's such a beautiful, beautiful sharing. Just to know that, everybody's body's individual, and the Vitas know how to put the remedies together for us. Thank you so much for sharing. That is so exciting, so inspiring. Okay. I'm just looking at your gorgeous faces, looking at the names of all that are here. Hi, Linda Smith. Oh,
Hi, I'm not in a place to talk. I haven't even combed my hair yet. And
oh, Linda,
thanks
it's
for
just nice to
understanding.
hear. It's nice to hear your voice. Leonore.
Yes, good morning, everybody.
Morning.
I put something in the chat earlier, and now I saw a post by Sibylle Ruff, who asked for help with osteoporosis or something. And I recommended that she gets in touch with a Vaidya. And we talk about Vaidyas here. And now I put in the chat, please put the link into the chat so newcomers know where to find a Vaidya. And with that said, I want to thank all the Vaidyas in the lineage of Siddha Veda who have committed themselves long-term to collaborate with us. We are the healers. We're not just patients. And it is a win-win between doctors and patient. And without those who transmit the secrets to us, we wouldn't be here today. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Leonora. Beautiful, true. Jerem, please. Oh, you're muted. Let's see.
Okay. I'm on my phone, which I don't often use for the Zooms. So yeah, the story that popped in for me was one that I had an issue for about 10 years or more, where I had this strange situation where my back would go out before I would go on vacation. And I always sort of thought to myself, this was many years ago, that there's got to be something here that I have to learn. So, and it was rather uncomfortable when it would happen, sometimes pretty debilitating. So I was having a session with my wonderful counselor, Phyllis, and she asked me at that time, what was it like when you were a kid, when you went on vacation? And I went, we never did that. My folks didn't have much in the way of resources. So basically we stayed home. And so the kind of unspoken idea there was the unspoken idea was that you don't have money to do this, so don't do it, because if you do, then you'll also be depleting your resources that you need for other things. So anyway, it took years to sort of suss out the emotional component of this. And after that session, I had filed it away in my subconscious. And the next time I was about to go on vacation, I was out for a jog that morning, and my back started going out. And the light bulb went off for me, and said, okay, here it is. Here's the programming. And so I slowed down. I took a little extra breathing time, and within a couple of minutes, my back was fine. And ever since then, I haven't had trouble going on vacation. So it's number one, recognizing how powerful the emotion component is in the healing process. And number two, that sometimes it needs to get worse before it gets better. I needed to get hit on the head to, so to speak, to recognize the pattern that was there, and that the recognition and the choice to move out of the pattern can be the accelerated part of the process. So thank you.
Thank you, Jerem. Very powerful, very powerful. I don't know who says it, but it says what we hold in mind, the body must perform. That was wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, Debra-Ann, I found something kind of exciting thought I'd share for a minute. You know, one of our ancient secret things that we do are called marmas, and we do things like press points, and there's scientific evidence, you know, behind what these points are, but we don't talk a lot about what that is. One of my favorites is self-love. and it's done on the earlobe here while we talk about our self-love and our connection to source. Well, I was recently researching something in traditional Chinese medicine and see that this point on the ear here at the base is for nostalgia, which I can only say, and anxiousness. And under neurasthenia, it says an ill-defined medical condition characterized by lassitude, fatigue, headache, irritability associated with emotional disturbances. So what a great thing. Let's all do that 6 times together as we press the insides of our ears here and profess that self-love. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And we're supposed to have our feet on the floor, our back straight. We're going to do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And I just think that that's so cool that there's have that connection to anxiety and anxiousness and fatigue, that we can block that energy, or we can release that blocked energy and have that instantaneous healing in many cases. So thank you.
Oh, thank you, Carol. That was awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Esther.
Yeah, okay, you've all inspired me to share. And one thing is that I've now, when a symptom returns, instead of contracting further and going, oh my God, I have a whole spaciousness for it. And it makes such a difference because I don't go into fear with a recurrence of something that before was more chronic. And coupled with that, we're molecularly, we are 99% water. 76 is the other count on us, but however you look at it, we are comprised of water. And the work of Dr. Yamato and now Veda Austin, oh my God, the intelligence of water is astounding beyond anything we ever were taught earlier in our life, and it's unfolding. I'm sending to whatever goes in, let's say it's the morning and I'm in bed and I start to roll and a part of my back, starts to hurt. I just send it so much love and thank it. I thank my whole body. I thank all the cells, I, for its astounding capacity to self-heal, knowing that my body is the water is flowing through all of it, and it's hearing that love and reminding and creating cohesion, and it's so powerful. And I found if I wake up say at 5 sometimes and I have these aches and pains, and I go back and I'm giving my body that love along with not just the message but sending the love. And yeah, we can do the ears at the same time, and I go back to sleep and I can wake up an hour and a half later, sometimes, not always, with all those things vanished. So I
Beautiful.
just wanted to share that.
That's beautiful. Thank
And
you.
again, not always. So, not to think it has to be 100% every time, having that spaciousness and patience, because the other thing I've become aware of is a lot of things are moving out of us. Just like when we're really sick, when we ingest a poison, and there's that discomfort of vomiting. But what it's doing is ridding us of poison. Well, on a more subtle level, some of the chronic toxins and poisons, especially on all the levels, not just physical, but spiritually and mentally and emotionally, are exiting. So some of what presents is what's leaving us. So not to get attached to that and claiming it as being mine, for instance. I find that helps a lot too. So that's it.
Beautiful, beautiful. I love that because it gave me a picture of the fact that all of our cells take in and they expel, and that pain may be the toxins that are leaving. That's awesome. Thank you. Daniel, so
Hi,
good to see you.
everyone. Hi, thank you. Good to see you all too. I was listening to the and I just wanted to share something real quick before the end. It goes with what Esther was saying, what Jeremy said about us tuning in, it is love. And for my path when I was healing, and nowadays I still use it because I discovered that too, is like remembering the greatest feelings as a child, because what more pure and innocent when we were kids and had the love, the enthusiasm, no need for anything external many times, just that love that comes from inside. And I truly believe that never dies and it's always with us. But this regarding that, we go in different paths throughout life, we may forget, but I have been using this to recall, even in meditation, remember some of those feelings. And it's not that I realize that it's not that they are in the past, they are in my childhood. They are here and now, as just what do we tune more, and how often do we remember, how often do we use these things that we have, these tools like Marmot and everything. I combine them sometimes, my breath work, Marmot, and going to these feelings. I would say these childhood feelings, but it's not very proper to say that because it's a now feeling that we can use and amplify even more. So, but I do find a lot of power on bringing them to the present and not letting them only on childhood. It's very powerful to me, and I think it can be very useful. Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you very much. Okay, so now is the time that we go into breakout rooms, and I will have to check with our tech folks if that's possible. And I should have called you Devananda. Sorry about that, Daniel.
I see a message from Robin that she has the rooms ready to go.
They are ready.
The rooms are ready to go? Okay. So now is when we get to do our send off to each other, and we'll be going into our rooms. So anyone new to the call, we rub our hands together and we're going to send each other some love. I love you and I'm with you.
I love you and I'm with you.
Love you and I'm with you.
Love you.